What's up, everybody? Brothers, sisters, psychonauts, and seekers of truth. It is Ananka, and welcome to my bazaar. Today, I have a 2C-B trip report for you. The title of this trip report is Arriving Through Fear, and was submitted to Earwid in 2020 by the user Mouth Spiral. With all that being said, let our story begin. Substance 2C-B. Dose 22 milligrams. Route of administration insufflated. Person 15-year-old male. Settings friend's house party. Summer. Writing here from quite a few years later, in my early 20s, recording some experiences from my memories. A summer, having just finished secondary school, 15 at the time, managing to acquire 2 doses of 22 milligrams of 2C-B in powder form from a supplier. Bought in a graveyard where I met my dealer and his friends, where they were congregating. I'd tried it twice beforehand, but in pill form, orally at 20 milligrams on the tail end of an MDMA experience, giving it rather entirely different effects than this one time. I brought it with me to a party, not deciding till I arrived if I was going to take it or not. I was skeptical to take it in such an environment. I had 2 doses. After arriving, settling, drinking a few cans of beer, I was making myself comfortable. Hanging out with friends, the person's house, one of my best friends because his mom was out of town. More people were slowly arriving, and the place was relaxed. Talking to a friend, I ask him if he wants to do some 2C-B. After much thought, we decided to take the drug together. It was just after midnight. We go up to the bathroom. I'm thinking I'd like a shorter but more intense high. I say we should snort it. I've read about snorting 2C-B online, seeming like a great experience, but nothing would prepare me for what was to come. After opening the powder wrapped in paper bombs, we proceeded in snorting the powder. Hitting the nose, a burning sensation is felt instantly. It is literally like the powder is causing a skin reaction in my nose. No aftertaste, but just an irritation of skin in my nose. Painful. Walking out of the bathroom, I instantly feel a little warm, heated. A gentle buzz is coming on. My fingers feel ultra-sensitive. The wall next to the bathroom door begins to move, with light kaleidoscopic swirls appearing on the surface all over. I start touching the wall in utter fascination, stroking it, feeling its texture. The grains and bumps gently massage my hands. Lovely, completely captivated by the wall. I start to realize what the hell I am doing. I'm stroking a wall. I laugh. Others around watching laugh. My headspace is altering very quickly. I've never felt this way mentally before. I feel as if I am regressing. I walk downstairs and begin feeling overwhelmed with a lot of anxiety. The headspace is taking me by surprise. I did not expect to feel this out of control so rapidly. My friend is having a similar reaction and goes outside. I lose him for a while. Time begins to distort. I feel hot, flushed, sweaty. I am overheating. I go outside to get some air as I am losing it, with the visual effects amping up already. I sit outside in the back garden outside the door, when immediately, I don't know if this was there or not. In front of me, there appears to be a giant yellow triangle sticking out of the grass that is melting, pouring, with holes being made all over it as if it is dissolving from the inside. I stare at this in complete astonishment as my mind begins dissolving with the triangle, experiencing dual sensations of my mind and the triangle. I am losing it with absolute fear. I go inside and upstairs to get away from my friends and the music, which has got excruciatingly loud and painful. I go into one of the rooms upstairs, closing the door in the dark. The room has expanded in length and size. I am so hot and out of control. I make my way towards the window on the far end, a red hue penetrating the misty window. My breath creates moisture on the glass. I gaze outside, gasping for air, as my body overheats. I sweat with strikes coming down my face. I place my hands on the window. My hands are tiny, but simultaneously large with this new world. I am a lost child in a giant room trying to breathe, enveloped with fear and anxiety, accepting my fate of gloom. In agony of my fluctuating emotions and physical sensations of intense heat and ice shudders, I must appear a lunatic. Downstairs, a party of teenagers, and me having just opened a new reality. Tears of sweat. Everything has lost its size and shape. The world I was once in 10 minutes ago is some faraway idea. Time is slowing down in the most agonizing way. Am I forgotten? Does everyone know what is happening to me? Deliriously kaleidoscopic. It is still ramping up. Chaos building within this crystallized mess. I was like a very small child lost in a hole. The door suddenly flies open, and one of my friends barges in with the lights switching on. It is painfully bright, putting my hands to my eyes and falling back in panic. He is surrounded by a halo and has become a Holy Spirit. He is completely enveloped by a light. I get up to greet him before he transforms into a demonic demon, with his face completed, highlighted with sinister emotions. Vicious demon, black lined smile, eyebrows pointing downwards. I notice that all the forms of his emotional expression are being exaggerated. I push him out of the room, shutting the door and turning the unbearably painful lights off. I sit in the dark. Things are still building. I can't believe I am still rising. I notice that everything has just been heightened to the max, but at this point, everything is starting to warp and distort, including my own thoughts. I look out of the door to the stairway. It is a crystallized mess. Everything is overwhelmingly bright, twinkling. It is unbelievably intense. I notice the music. Oh, I notice the music. Experiencing synesthesia, it rises up the stairs, sounding so unbelievable, The reverb and distorting effects of this drug are out of this world. It is too powerful. I walk out into the stairway. Before realizing the music is too scary, I retreat to another smaller room. Inside, it is total chaos. The mental effects, the physical effects are unimaginably intense. I sit down completely overwhelmed with anxiety. My friend, who has also taken it, comes into the small dark room with me and says, "What the fuck, mate? This shit is insane." We both lay down on the floor, overwhelmed with intense hallucinations, mental effects, and physical effects. At this point, I keep melting into the floor. I can't stop melting into the floor, moving side by side. This appears to be happening to my friend. The floor is a rainbow sheet with me bleeding into it. Very quickly, I notice the fear has begun to subside. The anxiety diminishes. I start being able to enjoy the full effects of the drug. I notice how completely amazing this is. How new. Leaving the small room with my friend, who goes further afield, I sit on the steps for a moment downstairs. The party is in full swing. No one has been aware of what has happened to me. It was all in my mind. I sit on the stairs, fully embodied in the psychedelic trip, and ever so comfortable. I look down at my shoes. Everything is so detailed, crisp, with my shoes moving about at every point. Looking up, everything in my field of vision is moving. The picture in the hallway is in 3D and changing color dramatically with such speed. The detail of everything is unbelievable. This is psychedelia. Looking outside through the front door, which is open, the view of the street, I see a zebra crossing with the orange light bulb. They are surrounded by green and red halos. The world is utterly transformed. This clean, modern house was looking more pulled apart and smooth, with the sterile surfaces of every element of the house being glazed in a cartoon-like fashion. Heightened. Tables, lines, curtains breathed, moved, and danced, as if they were all a living organism. This place was a living being. Me, just the point where everything emanated from. I am moving with it. I like the fact that I look normal, but my mind was everywhere. I found it hard adjusting to this. Most of my anxiety is stemming from the fact that I thought I looked and acted as crazy as the total perception. This is not the case, and once this is noted, everything eases much more. This all makes so much sense. I get up and walk to the dance room, where everyone is dancing. I notice how unsuspicious I am. I start to dance, feeling totally present with the room. The room is so much larger and more defined. The lights flashing. I am on a different speed or pace to everyone else. I look down at my own hands. They are oversized with patterns all over it. I feel like a child in a playground. I laugh and begin saying, "I am little boy," while staring at my hands. I dance. The fear and anxiety has completely subsided. I feel warm, happy, relaxed, altered with powerful hallucinatory effects happening everywhere. It is a totality on every sense working together. Walking out of the dance room, I begin talking to people. Enjoying myself, interacting with others is strange, but I start being able to make myself comfortable. Walking out into the back garden, it is the size of a field now. Everything is so enlarged. Someone I know arrives. We hug, feeling so much warmth towards her. It is wonderful. Moving about the house, everything is moving alongside my own mental side. I sit outside with some friends, telling him I have done 2C-B. He asks me what it is like. The best way to describe to him, I say, is everything. Everything. Everything is hallucination. Not one object in the field of vision is not shrinking in size, melting, undulating, or covered in patterns or colors. The world is hued with green and red. It is all melting in all places, with objects, people, surfaces smearing into one another, bleeding from object to object, breathing. Mental effects move with the visual effects. The music and auditory effects were my favorite. Music took on a rounded, crisp, and slow dimension. Gazing into the dance room, the music was now a visual element. The repetitive beats moved the spiraling patterning effects in the air. Me and the world is moving in waves, rising up and down in intensity. This is one special experience. The mental effects were stimulating but very clear-headed. No confusion, but just purely mind-expanding. I walk upstairs. Everyone is crowded around a bed in one of the rooms, with a doll or tiny child laying down on the bed. I ask someone, "Who the hell is that?" Someone looks at me confused, before realizing the thing laying down is my friend who has had too much to drink, just experiencing more intense cartooning effects. It was truly Alice in Wonderland syndrome, just pacing about at a party, observing, taking in, laughing at all the absurdity of what was happening to me and the world. From one to another, strange occurrences unfold. I hold a delicate bowl of cereal with milk filled to the rim. I do not want to touch the milk. I am by the exit of the kitchen leading to the garden, with not much thought, disgusted by the sight of the cereal. I proceed in walking outside and emptying the contents of the bowl into the grass. No thought. The smallest anomalies around the party are what take my fancy throughout the night. I spend the rest of the evening socializing, and slowly the effects begin to settle, with the world slowly starting to appear again. More than coming down, it was more general reality was emerging after a while. I start to feel more normal and less heightened. I feel different than before. I have come out in some way. Once I experienced myself and the world in this form, I don't ever really come back. As the party comes to an end, the effects come to an end. I am a little tired, but not in any way drained like I would feel on stimulants. It beautifully diminishes. Lovely, gentle, goofy, absurd is this drug world space. Looking back, it does lack a little of the deep mental component that I feel tryptamines have, other 2C chemicals or other psychedelics. I've done 2C-B many times since then, maybe 50 plus times, and it has always been gentle and forgiving, with one oral 50-milligram trip giving me a stronger trip than this one, where the mental component truly stood out. Great for tripping around others at parties, where I still want to have a conversation, or generally staying awake without having to take a stimulant, with the bonus of never a hangover. It is a brilliant all-around drug. No wonder it is so popular now. Very balanced, easy, music sounds great, lovely body and mind high, smoothly mind altering. It is such love, empathy, and laughter. The jokes that came from this drug are wonderful. I have never had any ill effects from 2C-B in my long-term use. Shulgin 1 here. Truly a great drug. Alright, everyone. That is the end of our story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Share with us your 2C-B experiences down in the comments below. Check out the other videos and playlists on my channel. And I will see you in the next one, fam. Deuces.